Hi everybody! What's up YouTube? I'm Elias from Talk and Talk English channel. How do you learn English? Do you memorize grammar rules and vocabularies in order to improve your fluency? If you do all this stuff, today you will discover that there is another way to deal with this. Do you know that there are two main approaches of learning English? I know for sure that one of them you know very well. But what about the second one? And which one is better? Which one you should follow in order to improve your English better? Today we're gonna figure it out. The first approach is called analysis-based approach. I know you may ask me, what the fuck does it mean? Cheer up, I'm gonna explain. Analysis-based approach is about you analyzing language. It implies that you should analyze language like a math, for example. In fact, the school system uses this method. According to this method, you gotta take language, break it apart, and analyze each of these pieces. According to this method, you gotta know this huge amount of grammar rules in order to be able to analyze language correctly. People who are following this method have to do the solid amount of drills, which again are created because they're supposed to help you to understand language better. I found a pic that demonstrates a grammar analysis. Okay, now let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of analysis-based approach. I'll remark 3 strong and weak sides of each method. The strengths are here. You can write correctly if you can analyze grammar well. I think this is an obvious one. If you have a solid amount of time and there is no pressure, you can stop, think, and analyze what you're reading. And of course, you can edit it correctly if you know grammar rules. You're going to get a great scores in this school. If you are the school student and you have to pass all of those exams, of course, good knowledge of grammar rules is going to help you to pass all this tests successfully. At least this is what it teaches you and what they expect you to do well. You can start learning by this method even if you're a total beginner. Of course, on the start point of your learning, analysis-based approach is going to help you to get these basics of English. What about weaknesses? Here they are. It significantly slows down your speaking ability. See, if you get used to analyze grammar rules, of course you're gonna do this during your conversation. But in the conversation, there is no time for you to stop and think. Real conversation is quick and unpredictable. So if you hesitate and stop, you don't sound naturally and fluently. As a consequence, you don't speak well. It's boring. Let's face it, who likes to memorize all of these grammar rules and vocabulary lists? I certainly don't, and I think most people don't like to do this either. And the worst aspect of this, that in the school system, you're forced to do all of this stuff. It teaches you to hate English rather than love it. Textbooks don't teach you real English. The ideas of textbooks are just irrelevant. They're worth nothing. Fake dialects, fake conversation, and stupid drills. A real person doesn't speak like a robot. It doesn't speak like a textbook. If you try to talk to a native speaker, you'll notice how his language differs from the fake textbook's English. Okay, now we're gonna put analysis-based approach off and talk about the second one. The second main approach of learning English is called input-based approach. Input is what you see and what you hear. In this case, input-based approach is about you reading and listening to a lot of English materials. An important aspect of input-based approach is that you should listen and read a comprehensible input. Meaning you should understand about 80% of what you hear and what you read. Now let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of input-based approach. It improves your speaking and writing ability a lot. See, this is much more natural method for learning English. In fact, native speakers are learning English by input-based approach. Let's talk about a little baby. A little baby learns speaking through listening to his parents, and he learns how to write through reading. You and I have been learning our languages through input-based approach. We've been listening to our parents, and this is how we've learned our languages. You'll achieve the sense of correct grammar, correct pronunciation, and correct vocabulary. By following this approach, you'll achieve the sense of correctness. So there is no need for you to stop and hesitate in the middle of conversation anymore. You shouldn't stop and think about all these grammar rules. You just speak naturally and quickly. This is how you become fluent. It's much more exciting and interesting method. You are the boss right now. You should choose what you are interested in and listen and read about this. For example, if you like art, listen and read about art. If you like medicine, listen and read about medicine. There's so much materials up there, so you can literally choose any topic you want and find materials about it. So, you're gonna listen to stuff that you are interested in, that are important for you, that are meaningful for you, not for somebody else. You're not gonna listen stuff, just stupid and meaningless stuff from textbooks anymore. It's a flexible way for us to learn English. Now you should not follow some stupid school curriculum anymore. Now you're the boss, you can decide when you want to listen to English materials. You can do this anywhere and anytime. Everybody now has smartphones and internet connection. I personally try to listen to English every time I'm free. I listen to podcasts, I love watching videos on YouTube, just reading books, I do all this stuff literally every time I'm free. Now, let's talk about the weak sides. You gotta have a basic knowledge of English. Of course, unless you are the baby of English-speaking family, which is not the case for you, right? You have to learn some vocabulary and grammar before you start following this approach. There is no way for the student to read and listen to English if he knows zero English, right? But I'm sure it's not the case for you, because you are watching this video now. You have to be responsible and disciplined. See, this approach requires from you to be responsible for your own learning. In this school, you have a teacher who forces you to learn English and do drills. But now you are the boss. You decide whether you learn English or not. I personally don't find it tough to listen to English because I love it so much that I don't need to force myself at all. But I know people who cannot force themselves to learn English. They'd rather go to the school system than being responsible for their own success. You should be organized and schedule your learning. I think this refers to the previous one. You need to schedule your learning because no organization means no persistence. You gotta decide how much you're willing to listen and read every single day. Which one is better? You should decide. But from my side, I want to encourage you to learn by using the input-based approach. If you can understand most of this video, I'm sure the input-based approach is the best way for you to improve your English. I know what I'm talking about because I've been learning English by using both. By now, I've been learning English for 2 years. And at the first year of my learning, I'd been using the analysis-based approach. I'd gone to the private school and learned grammar rules and vocabulary lists. Of course, it helped me to understand English better, but my speaking ability was very, very poor. But since last year, and by now, I've been using the input-based approach. And I can't believe it. It just provided me a huge breakthrough in my speaking. Thus, I want to encourage you to do the same. Listen and read a lot, be persistent and diligent, and I promise you, you will succeed. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.